You're kind of in my way. I'm sure you're all wondering why I've gathered you here today. And the answer is to make yet another dress. But this dress in particular is special because it is going to be my Valentine's Day dress. And I've never actually had a Valentine's Day dress before. So I'm super excited about this one. The dress in question today is this dress. It is by Kiana Bonollo, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. She is a fantastic fashion creator and sewing creator who makes patterns, and so she made this particular one, and I'm kind of literally obsessed with it, and I need it immediately. So we're gonna make it. Now, obviously, with this being a Valentine's Day dress, the fabric choice needs to be pink or red or like something within that color palette, and I found the perfect fabric, this right here. Is the fabric choice. This is just a little swatch of it so you can see it. I think this is so gosh darn cute, and it's got like a cute little like texture to it. It's gonna be so good. Let's get going. Okay, now that everything is cut out, I went ahead and pinned the darts on the different pieces because there's a couple of darts on the front and in the back. So we're gonna go ahead and sew those and then iron them. Also, something that I did off camera because I figured you didn't want to see it, but I'll tell you that I did it now so you aren't questioning my life decisions. Don't even know if you can see this. I went ahead and zigzagged along all the pattern pieces so that way they just won't fray. But I did it off camera because nobody wants to see that. So let's go ahead and sew the darts, and then we're gonna iron them, and then we are off to the races. So next up, we're gonna be sewing the side seams together. And I don't know, I feel like this is a little early in the process to be sewing the side seams together. For me personally, I tend to do everything and then I put the dress together. So like I sew all of the darts. If there's like the keyhole that we'll do, I would like do that first. I'd sew any plackets first, just so that way I've got like better maneuvering skills. I'm gonna follow the pattern as recommended, and then we are going to kind of figure out whether or not that feels like it's actually the best way. Hey guys, it has been a couple of days. I'm gonna be so for real. I am so low energy right now. We're gonna be just fine. I just wanted to give you an update. Let's go ahead and get back into sewing. I'm just real hoping that I can get it done today because I wanna feel cute. So we're actually gonna keep going. The next step is we're gonna take the bias tape, which if you don't know what bias tape is a strip of fabric that you cut at a 45-degree angle from the grain of the fabric, which is the straight across and up and down. At the 45 degree is the stretchiest part of the fabric, so that way you can manipulate the binding to go around curves and stuff. But you know what I haven't done? I haven't shown you where we're at. Let me show you where we're at. That's kind of important. I think she's looking pretty stinking cute. The keyhole, I have actually no concept of what this is going to look like, and I'm really concerned that it's gonna be like my entire boobs are out, but we will sure find out if that is the case. Yeah, we're gonna sew the bias tape around the little keyhole, and then I think we then combine it and like bring it into something, but like I have no idea how that's actually gonna work. But yeah, let's actually get the bias tape on. Alrighty, so off camera, I did go ahead and fold the bias tape to where it needs to be, but let me walk you through it. So this is my already ironed piece of bias tape. So what you wanna do is you wanna take this bias tape, open it up, and then you're going to sew it. We're gonna sew it like this. So the top piece of the bias tape is sewn to the top piece of the like actual guy. And then you take this edge, flip it over so that way it like encapsulates the top of the piece of fabric like that. And the way I have it ironed is that the back piece sticks out just like a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch. You can see it like it sticks out just like a tiny bit. The reason why we do that is because the longer piece is supposed to sit on the inside of the garment, and then when you are sewing it to the inside of the garment, you do something called stitching in the ditch. So it's like lined up right here, and you will stitch like right along that line, right in the ditch of where the two fabrics meet. And because the side that is on the inside is slightly longer, you then catch it as you go along. So that is the concept of stitching in the ditch. I hope that made sense. Let's actually now go pin it on. I pinned this backwards because I am but a silly goose. And by put it backwards, I mean the bulk of the fabric is on this side and it's gonna be pushed through here versus like in this wide open space on this other side. We're just gonna sew it backwards. One last thing before I start sewing. I'm going to be using this foot, which has a little like divot right in the middle. And this is a slip in the ditch foot, which this foot is absolutely not necessary to stitching in the ditch. But I like to use it because I worked in a costume shop when I was 18 and sewing was my entire personality. And I say as if it's not still my whole personality. There's this little guy in the middle and there's this tiny little like hole where it goes like, and that is right where the needle goes. So that way this little guy, this divider, can go straight down the ditch and the needle can just follow through it. So that makes it like super easy to figure out and make sure that you are sewing perfectly straight and in the ditch. So absolutely not necessary, but a super cool tool. I think I got this one off of Amazon, so I'll link it down below in the description if you're interested. Okay, so next up what we're gonna be doing is the collar, and I have come across a problem. And that problem is that I thought I had interfacing in the house, because like I always have interfacing, and I can't find it anywhere. So rather than going out and buying some more when I don't want to, I'm just gonna use another collar piece. I just cut a third one, because there's the like visible side, and then there'll be like the back side of it. So I just cut another one, and we're just gonna base stitch the visible piece to what was the inner facing piece. So I think if we'll just base stitch that, that'll add enough structure that like it won't be too bad. Okay, just to show you the stitch in the ditch. This is what it looks like from the front. As you can see, it is literally invisible. Like you can see that there's obviously like a different fabric right here. Actually, this lines up beautifully. That looks so good. But you cannot see like, come on bud, you got us, a physical stitch. And then on the inside, you can see that like this clearly caught the inside. So they just caught all the way around. So it's gonna like be secure, but it looks fantastic from the outside. Anyways, now into the collar. For the collar, we've got this cute little square now done, and it definitely is stronger and more structured. So we're gonna call this good enough, I think, and hopefully it is good enough. But yeah, we just now need to take it and sew it onto the like seam of the dress. Does that make sense? No, it does not. This is the keyhole right here. So we want the two edges of the keyhole to match up, and then we're gonna sew the collar around this like open edge that is the actual neckline. And we're gonna do it all the way to the center back. So let me just pin that real fast. Okay, so next up, so we've only sewn the first part of the collar on, but before we sew the second part on, we're gonna attach the zipper so that way the zipper is like fully encased in the collar. So we are doing an invisible zipper. And if you have never done an invisible zipper or a zipper, they are a little finicky. I feel like the whole sewing world is like, oh my God, zippers are the most difficult part of anything. They're not that bad. They're very easy to do wrong if you're not using your brain though. So you kind of have to like think through all of the steps and then put it on instead of just being like, oh, well, you gotta think. So like that's really the only bad part about zippers, but let me walk you through how I am putting in my zipper. So I have the dress right here, right? This is the keyhole, armholes, neckline. This is the configuration. These two side pieces, like out here, are actually the center back. So we will be sewing the zipper down this line. When I'm sewing the zipper, I got a little purple zipper right here, which is the closest match I had at Joann's, and we're just gonna roll with it. So what you wanna do is you wanna open it fully. I like to iron it before I start pinning it anywhere, so that way I can like make sure that the teeth of the zipper are like sticking out. So go ahead and do that. And then this is one side of the center back seam. This is the like outside of the garment. This is the inside of the garment. Okay. What I like to do is I will literally pick up the dress and like place it like this with the center back pieces touching each other, so that way I can like envision the end goal. So I'm gonna lay the dress like that. Let me adjust the camera. So this is the two center back pieces right here. Start at the top. In the end goal, we want them facing each other like this, obviously. And we want the zipper to be placed zipped up in between the two of them. So we're kind of just gonna like literally place the zipper between the two of them. I don't know why I zipped it back up. What do you unzip it immediately? So yeah, we just want to make sure that like it's not twisted or anything. It's just laying nice where the end goal is. However, there's a raw edge right here for the center back. So of course, we're going to want to fold that back so that way it's not visible from the outside. And we're going to tuck the zipper with the teeth side out just underneath that thing that we just folded so that it sits like this. So you can kind of see the teeth just barely poking out. That is all that you want. On the inside, you can see that the zipper, like extra sewing bit, is touching the raw edge, which then tells you that this is how you want to sew it. So the teeth side in, make sure it's not twisted. This is how you're going to sew the zipper. This is what the zipper is looking like right now, which is beautiful and perfect and exactly what I was wanting. So first up, we're gonna go ahead and iron this fabric to lay nicely with the zipper. And then what you wanna do is you want to close the zipper, because the zipper is always going to force the fabric to line up with the zipper. You just really wanna make sure that the dress is going to line up evenly on both sides. And the easiest way to do that is to start with a closed zipper. Then you take the dress, so this is the other center back seam that has no zipper on it, and you kind of just want to line it up evenly with the other side of the neckline. And you just want to really make sure that those seams are perfectly in line, so that way you can get a straight zipper. And this is my zipper. You really can't see it, and dare I say it might be invisible. I'm actually pretty proud of how that turned out. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna iron it flat just to like make sure that every stitch is like set. And the dress is very happy with its new zipper, because zippers, like I said, can be finicky. And I just wanna make sure that like we're good. And the next part is to continue the center back seam and just stitch that all the way down. What I do is I turn it inside out. Then I take the open pieces, hold them together, and just bring it down. And then the zipper starts here. So I will just sew this seam until like here. And that way the zipper is just gonna hit the edge of the seam, and that's what's gonna stop it. I don't know if that's actually the right way to sew zippers. That's just what's worked for me previously, and so that's how I'm gonna do it. But if there's a better way to do it that like makes it more sturdy or something, please let me know down in the comments. Here's what so kind of the fit. I feel like the fit is like sort of loose, but in like a cute flattering way through here. So like it looks good. My issue is the keyhole. I was really worried about it being too big, and it is. I just feel pretty exposed, which is not the vibe I wanted or was going for. So I'm going to think about this and like mull it over while I make the sleeves. But yeah, this is a key issue right now. Everything else is cute though. Okay, so next up is the rest of the collar. We're going to take this little collar piece. We're going to fold this piece in and iron that all the way down. And then we'll take this side that does not have an iron seam on it and stitch it wrong or right sides together with the actual collar. And then this side that's got the little thing, we'll flip it over and stitch in the ditch again. Hopefully that made sense. I'm on the floor because I don't feel like standing, and that's really all I have to say. We are now on to the sleeves. So for the sleeves, it's real confusing looking at the sleeves because it's got that whole huge swoop that like you can't really tell where the side seams are. So I had to look back at the pattern and be like, where are the straight edges? I found them, and I'm not gonna unfold it to show you because I don't want to lose it again. Anyways, this is the straight like arm seam. We're gonna sew both of those side seams, and then I think we're gonna do a small gathering stitch through the actual like arm's eye, or not the arms. I don't know which side is the arm's eye. The side of the sleeve part of the arm's eye, and then we'll stitch it into the dress, and then we are hemming the sleeves and then hemming the dress, and then that is literally it. Oh, one other thing is I've come up with sort of an idea that I'm gonna try, and hopefully it works out. For the gappage of the keyhole, what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna make a seam straight down center, because I've discovered that like if I like pinch that gap together, it kind of fixes all of my problems. So I think I'm just gonna do like a center seam and make it into like a dart, kind of just straight down the center. Which is not the dream. It's not gonna look fantastic, but it is the simplest way to fix it, I believe. So we're also gonna do that, and then that's it. Okay, so I just tried on the dress again with the sleeves this time, and gotta say, it changes the entire dress. So I am so excited to get to show that to you for the reveal. So freaking excited. But anyways, all that is left now is to sew the dart right there, and I'm trying to think of how to reduce that bulk because that's literally center. We'll play around with it, see with that, but we got to do that, and then we got to hem the sleeves and the dress. And then that's it. So that is how close we are. I'm so excited to be done. Let's get crunching. Okay guys, I tried on the dress and I got a couple more like hand stitching things that I'm gonna need to do tonight, but that is it. So I will see you tomorrow with my review of the pattern and my reveal. Okay guys, we are finally in the wrapping up portion, and we're gonna do it before the reveal. I'm going to talk about the dress and like what my final thoughts are now, and then I'll show you the dress, because I feel like that way you will be able to like notice the things that are good and the things that are bad. Overall, I love this dress, guys. It's so flirty and fun, and I just feel so good in it, which is exactly what you are looking for when you are making a dress. It does fit fairly well. I did size up so that way it could be like looser in my hips, and that does mean that it's a little extra loose in the bodice. But I could fix that if I cared enough, and reader, I do not. The dart in the keyhole does work. However, it does mean that I have a seam directly down the center. And so I came up with a little piece of distraction, if you will, to try to hide that fact. So feel free to look for that in the reveal. But I feel so much more comfortable with that dart in there. I ended up taking in 1.5 inches total out of the keyhole. And I am so glad that I did, because my goodness, I was feeling so like vulnerable, and I feel comfortable now, which is what I want. The dress, fantastic length. I don't think I've worn like a shorter dress in quite a long time, and I was not sure how I was going to feel about it. And let me tell you, I feel hot. I feel real good about it. Overall, the dress is so dramatic, and I love it, and I cannot wait to wear it for Valentine's Day. If you liked this video, please feel free to subscribe. I upload every other Friday, and I always have something fun in the works. Happy Valentine's Day. I will see you guys next time, and without further ado, here is the reveal.